So we're going to open up the shoulders, open up the chest. So you're going to stand, squeeze the shoulder blades, pelvis tilt, lock in that core, and open up, lifting the chin. From here, you're going to palms up, reach up, keeping the shoulder blades pulled down, but reaching the arms out of that shoulder joint towards the ceiling. And then you're going to reach out in front, reaching, trying to keep the shoulder blades pulled back. So you should feel like part of the back half of your shoulder is going backwards and the front is reaching forward. So you're pulling that joint in two different directions. And then you're going to open back up, open up the chest, lift the chin, palms up. You're going to reach, pulling the shoulder blades down, reaching the top of the joint towards the ceiling, and then reaching out, keeping those shoulder blades pulled back. So don't round forward, keeping them pulled back, reach out, and then open back up, open all the way to where you're open, chest up, opening up the chest, pulling the shoulder blades down and back, palms up. We're gonna do it one more time, reaching, locking the core, and then out forward. No movement from your back, shouldn't round at all. You just reach from that shoulder. Open up, palms down. So we're gonna do a little rotation. In this rotation, think of rubber bands in your shoulders twisting forward, or like you're wringing out, oh, windy, like you're wringing out a towel, right? That's what's happening in that shoulder. We want to wring it out, but not let the shoulder come up and down. We want to reach straight out, palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. And keep it straight out at the shoulder and straight. So we want to think of somebody twisting from here, not just from the wrist, but twisting that whole arm and wringing it out. So you're really pulling, pushing down and pushing up. As you come up, try to take that pinky towards the back, keeping that arm straight. And then when you come down, think of that thumb going towards the wall. So you're really wringing out through those shoulders. Moving up and rotations. Just twist from the shoulder, not from the elbow or the wrist. Then we're going to bring it forward, round the back this time. So you're going to round out, pelvis tilt, lock in the core here. Reaching up, pull the shoulder blades, shoulders to ears, and then reach back like a backstroke. Opening up, we're going to come all the way around, pulling forward, reaching up, and then reaching around. So you might have some pop and grind through the shoulders as you reach back and around. So palms face each other, and then at the top, they rotate and face out and down as you reach back behind you. Up, and then around and down. One more time, all the way around. Reaching back. Now from the bottom, we're going to come back around, palms face up this time. Reaching out into that butterfly stroke, rounding, pushing down, and then up. Rotating the palms at the bottom, reaching out, push, flip, and pull like you're shoveling dirt all the way down. Push, flip, and pinch those shoulder blades together as you come to the bottom and you flip those arms. Pull the shoulder blades down and then pinch, and then open up those shoulder blades. Push down using that chest and reaching up. So all your muscles, you're not just swinging from the arms, you're really pushing down and then rotating and then pulling like resistance bands off the floor, reaching out, pulling in the core and back down. In the arms, little shoulder roll, setting those shoulder blades back into place. Here we're going to come up into that scarecrow position, feet underneath the hips, soften the knees, belly button brace, that good strong core position, elbows straight out. From the side, we're going to do those rotations. We're going to bring one arm down. That elbow stays up. Don't let it drop. You want to rotate thinking of this hand touching the wall, right? So push, but don't let those elbows drop or move. Here, staying at a 90 degrees, and then you're going to bring it up and push down with the other one. Rotating through the shoulder, not just here. It's a push like you're pushing putty or clay against the wall, making a pancake. Push and then pull up and rotate other side. Shoulder blades down and back, belly button braced. And you'll find that this one arm may, or both arms, may want to drop. Because if I drop the elbow, I have all that rotation. But if I keep it up, I don't. And that's your body just trying to cheat. So keep those elbows up high. So Brenda, keep that elbow up. The one that's down.
Oh, that's hard.
Little. These I like to call the robot. Right? So keeping that 90 degrees, the elbow up. Think of a rod going through this elbow, through the shoulders, and out the other one. So it can't drop. Right? So rotate. Woo! It started to burn a little bit inside that shoulder.
That's what I was gonna say. This is supposed to hurt. It's hurting my shoulder.
This is all rotator cuff and that shoulder mobility. And then bring it all the way in, rounding the shoulder blades, reach out, reach up, and rotate, open back up those shoulders, release them a little bit. So the rotator cuff, they'll start to burn pretty aggressively. Next, we're gonna do the horizontal rotations. So we're gonna bend over, but we're gonna have our arms in this position. And we basically do the exact same thing. You're gonna keep your arms, you're gonna go from here, you're gonna push down, like you're pushing against the wall, right? So you're gonna go for that wall, and then you're gonna rotate up. And as you come up, this elbow digs in a little bit. So it digs in. What that does is that takes the shoulder blade and pushes it in and out. So there should be a movement from that shoulder blade. I'm not in my tank top where I'd be able to show you that, but you'll be here, hinge, belly button brace, long spine, weight in the heel. Let's see if you can see my feet. Arms up, 90 degrees like a scarecrow. And you're gonna rotate one up, dig the elbow in, dig that elbow in, and then rotate. Same movement, alternating. And then here, when this elbow's here, you should feel that in your lat, in the side, and in that shoulder blade moving. Oh, I thought when he was typing. So rotate down, and just pull. Dig that elbow in as those knuckles come back. So if you don't have that range of motion, your elbow will want to move all sorts of places. So you're here, and then rotate. Keeping those elbows at a 90 degrees. Pulling. Think of that elbow pulling and digging in to open up that shoulder blade away from the spine, and that shoulder blade goes into the ribs and out towards the wall.
Ugh.
Lock in the belly, keep the weight in the heels. You'll start to burn through the shoulder blades, and you'll want to tuck the butt and kind of hinge so it's easier. So make sure you keep that good alignment. Dig in that elbow. And then here, we're gonna bring them out in front, reach. Rounding out the shoulder blades, releasing that. Bring it down, rounding out the whole back. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Opening back up, low, and just shake it out. I'm gonna go to my knees so you guys can see me. So here, we're gonna start with our palms facing. We're gonna come up, and here we're gonna reach up, shrug, keeping the shoulder blades down, but thinking of this front clavicle coming to our jaw, not our shoulder blades. So there won't be a hunch. It'll be here more in the front, lifting that clavicle in the chest and keeping the shoulder blades pulled down. So it's more of a feeling. So you'll palms face up, you'll come here, and then you'll come up, try to get the clavicle to touch your chin and pull the shoulder blades down the back. And then reach, and then you'll come back down, palms down, pull the shoulder blades, reset that set position. You'll come up, and then clavicle to chin, pull the shoulder blades down the back. So basically what we're doing is the front half, like we got cut right in half at our shoulder. The front half of the shoulder is trying to pick up the clavicle and lift, and the back is pulling the shoulder blades down and back. So when we lift, we pull the clavicle and then pull the shoulder blades down the back. So we're trying to slide, right? Like front is going up and the back is coming down. So like if we got cut in half, we're sliding that back, that torso, upper torso. So up, clavicle to chin, pull the shoulder blades down and back, lock in the core, and then back down, reset, pull the shoulder blades down and back, lock in the core, lift up, pulling that front clavicle up, keeping the chin lifted, shoulder blades down and back, and then back down. All the way up. Reaching with that clavicle, belly button braced, and then back down. Again, work on, it's more of a mind-body connection because like obviously we can't pick our clavicle up off our neck, but it's more of just getting those muscles to kind of pull and work through the chest and that front of the neck. And then push, 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 push down like you're squishing putty into a pancake. Keep going. One more to go, up, pulling the shoulder blades down and back, and then release it down. We'll arch out, rounding the shoulder blades. So if you have a towel or a something that won't stretch, I had a canvas open here for a while, but apparently, I'll use this. We're gonna take it in one hand, come up over, and grab it with the other. So we're here. Key is to keep the belly button braced, so pelvis tilt, so you're in that neutral spine, and then pull that bottom arm down, opening up the tricep and the shoulder in the arm that's up. Elbow should be by the ear. So put the bicep right beside that ear. So you're here, right? So don't let it flare out. We want to keep that shoulder forward, belly button braced. So we don't want to be here, right here. Bicep to jaw or ear, and then pull with this arm, pull down. Opening up that tricep first. Now try to even out the shoulders. If you're starting to lean, square up. Open up that tricep. Now, we're gonna start to pull with this upper arm. So this bottom arm, you need to tuck so it bends, so you bend at the elbow, and then you'll start to pull up with that upper arm. But keep that elbow in tight. Don't let that elbow open up. Don't put that shoulder in that open position. So you'll start to pull. Now you might feel this arm on the bottom, you might feel that pull through the front of the shoulder. Just hold it gently, don't pull aggressively, just hold and allow it to stretch. But you don't want to arch hard. Lock in that core and then pull. Keep going. Don't want to drop my pull up. Now open this arm back up and pull that top arm back down. And then you should feel some relief in this arm once you've stopped stretching and now it's pulling. So we'll basically counteract that pull, that opening, and pull down to open up that tricep and release some tension off that bottom arm. Gently release all of it, roll those shoulder blades. You felt that tension through the front of the shoulder. We just need to open that up, roll it out a little bit. We're of course going to switch sides. I was looking for Nichelle. All right, so we're gonna switch sides. So grab your towel or whatever you got with the other arm. Now remember, one shoulder might be way more, have way more mobility in this. So don't force, you need to get a longer towel or just hold and maybe not grab anything so there's no pressure. That's okay too. So this arm, again, bicep to jaw or ear. Don't open up, you don't wanna be out here. Keep it tight, and then we're gonna pull down to open up that tricep, locking in the belly, squeezing the glutes, soft in the knees, that strong set position, and then open up that tricep. So we're pulling down towards the floor. Keeping that elbow in alignment. Opening it up. Keeping the shoulder blades down back, don't start to hunch as it starts to burn. Now we're gonna switch, hanging onto that bottom, we're gonna start to pull up, keeping this elbow in the inside the shoulders, don't let it open up. So you're gonna be here, but you're gonna start to pull up the back so you open up. Now remember, one shoulder joint might have way more mobility, so don't force it. If it's like, woo, then just hold there or back off a little bit. I got my hair tangled up in my handle and grab my, so open up that shoulder. Keep the belly button braced, soft knees, keep that neutral spine alignment. So in here, if you start to round or tuck, you'll feel that you release that stretch. But if you keep it in that neutral spine alignment, proud chest, you might feel that stretch a little deeper. And just hold. As soon as you feel there should be some stretching, not pain, not sharp shooting pain, and no major discomfort. I mean, it's gonna be a stretch, but nothing that's like, oh my gosh. Just allow it to stretch, release it. And then pull, go ahead and pull back. Find my, there we go. And then pull back up or pull back down, releasing that tension in the shoulder and pull down, opening up that tricep. Yep, pull straight down, opening up that tricep, releasing tension from that bottom shoulder. There we go. All right, release it all the way. Little shoulder roll, pulling those shoulder blades down and back. We're gonna go to the floor. I'm gonna try to get this where you can see me a little bit better. Stay. We're gonna go onto our side and bring one arm across and then roll into it. So I know this ball is gonna get me if I leave it there, so I'm gonna move it. So we're gonna come up to on our side. Bring this arm out in front, right? So you're in an L shape. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders, and then you're gonna lean forward. This arm can stay here, and then lean, look straight down at the floor. So put your chin on your shoulder, and then roll forward. And breathe through that stretch. You can roll forward with the hips. You can take more, the more body you take, the more stretch you might feel, but just gently, just keep that neck turned, looking straight down, and the bottom of your chin on your shoulder. You can take one arm and reach it out. You can take the upper arm or just hold it to brace yourself. Roll back up when you're ready. Come all the way down to your back. You take this arm and reach it up overhead and reach, really, really reach, pulling the ribs away from the hips. And then take it out to that side, pressing the knuckles into the floor. So push down on that arm just to release some tension from that front delt. And then we're gonna do the other side. So if you're on your mat, you'll have to switch out into that T position, straight out, and then stack and then roll. And the more body weight you roll on, you should feel that stretch in the back, maybe through the traps. you're done with that shoulder, you're gonna come all the way, lay on your back. Bring the arm up overhead. Reach, reach, reach. Opening up that front delt, bring it back to the side, push into the ground. Opening up that front shoulder. Then we're gonna come all the way over onto our bellies. So here, arms straight out again, but you're face down. You're gonna push up and roll towards that arm. So if you're on the wall, you can put your body against the wall and then open up away from that arm. Here, you wanna be straight out at a 90 first. And then as you adjust, you can bring that arm up at a higher angle and feel that stretch move through the different areas of the chest. And so if you're on the wall, 90 degrees first, hold. If you're on the floor, you're gonna be in the same position, face down, and then roll up. So you're taking your shoulder blades towards your elbows. And then once you feel that good stretch, you can roll back to the ground. Take your hand up at a slight angle, about 3 to 4 inches, and then roll open again. So 90, take it up, and then roll. And it might just be, you might just push, you may not get a whole roll if your shoulders are really tight. Come back to the chest, switch sides, straight out at a 90 first, roll up. Remember, one side may have way more flexibility, so don't force anything. Feel a little deeper stretch. You can reach those fingers out, like shooting in energy out of those fingertips. And push the forearms into the ground. You might get a little deeper stretch through that shoulder and chest. We'll roll flat down, take that arm up about 4 or 5 inches, and then roll back open. Again, these can be done against the wall as well. Coming back down to our bellies, pressing up. We're gonna start, get into that box position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Here, you can go to knuckles if your wrists are getting a little sore. Here, we're gonna roll out and around, arching, and then pinching together. So it's like cow and cat, but when you come forward, you arch and pull the shoulder blades down, and you come around. And then as you come back, you arch hard here, and then arch, and then round out. So as you're rounding, you're pulling one shoulder, like think about belly dancers, you're pulling one rib in, and then rotating, and then pulling, and then rotating. So think about dropping of the ribs and opening of those shoulder blades. So do one direction, and then go back. Opposite direction, arching and rounding. And as you come around, really push into that armpit and try to open up that back of the shoulder. So this one arm is really pushing against the ground, like pushing the world away from you, pulling in the belly, pushing the world away from you, reaching out, arch and round. The arch and round takes a lot of concentration. From here, we're going to take those hands out, pushing them into the ground, so push hard, opening up the shoulder blades. You're in about a half child's pose. Don't go all the way down. Keep up. Push the hands against the ground. Pushing the shoulder blades back, so you're pulling in 2 different directions. And then come up over those hands and pull the shoulder blades down and back into that cobra. But pull down. And then push back, rounding, arching the back, pushing the world away from you. And then up into an arch, pulling the shoulder blades down and back, stretching the neck. And then pushing, rounding, push. This should really pull those shoulder blades away from each other. And then here you pinch them, pull them down, pinch them back in together. Pushing. All right, we're gonna take our hands a little wider and do the same thing. Push down, brace yourself, hands wide so you're here in that wider position. Pushing into the ground, and then you're gonna come up into that half cobra and pull the shoulder blades down and back. Bracing yourself, pushing into the ground, pinching the shoulder blades down and back, lifting the chin, and then push off. Push, rounding the back. Brace the core. Push into the ground, and back up. Pulling the shoulder blades down and back. And back in. From here, we're going to bring our hands, release those wrists a little bit. So palms up, hands over, shoulders over the wrists, palms up. You can do little circles. If this really hurts, like if you lean forward, to release the forearms and those muscles through the hands. If that's discomfort, just bend the elbows a little bit, or go to flat palms, or you can turn your hands in, just to release those forearms and the hands a little bit. Lean forward. That's really uncomfortable, just hold. You can bring your hands palms face down, fingers to knees, and then you're gonna lean back, opening up the forearm just a little. As soon as you feel that stretch, hold it there. You don't want to put too much pressure on the elbow. You can do little circles, one way, one the other. Release those last few. You can get your wrists and forearms and elbows because you're locked out pushing. So bend the elbows in, palms or knuckles together here. Squeezing the elbows, like we're gonna squeeze a ball between our elbows. So you're gonna squeeze in, pulling the shoulder blades down and back. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So my hands, my knuckles are together and I'm squeezing my elbows, but I'm trying to bring them, so it's like I'm posing on my hands, but I'm not. So bring them in, keep them as high as you can. If you can't get them very high without arching, just know that's some of your shoulder mobility, that you can't bring your arms in and high. Maybe they're low and high. Just work on that flexibility. But just bring those hands in, release it, open up. So drive the elbows back. Opening up the chest. Rounding out in front, knuckles to knee. If your elbows are still tight from that pushing on the floor, you can just release them by doing some little pumps. Tuck the chin, pull the shoulder blades down. Take the ear to one side, pulling the shoulder blades down. You should feel a good stretch through the neck. Come center, other side. up overhead, opening up, release it, release the wrists, all the way down, up overhead, reach, and release. Woo. Hopefully your shoulders feel a little bit more, a little more open, but those are really great. Those ones that we did at first are really great if you're having a lot of shoulder and mobility, or in the workouts, your shoulders are like, right? Or just achy. To do away from the workout, like when you first get up in the morning, just to do those stretches and really think of where that stretch is coming from, pulling the shoulder blades down and just getting some blood going to them. That's really great to do first thing in the morning away from your workout. If the warm-up calls for push-ups, you could do some of this mobility stuff like the horizontal rotations versus, or the windshield wipers, those kind of little movements instead of push-ups, as you need, if you need to strengthen that rotator cuff a little bit. And there might be days where you've just been like, we've done a ton of planks and push-ups where you're like, my shoulders are aching. Then take the push-ups out and put in some of these joint mobility exercises. You can even do the stretch, keep everything tight, because when you're pulling on one and you're stretching the other, you're still engaging, you're still forcing that adaptation in the stabilizers, because the stabilizers are pulling up while the other one's stretching. So you could replace your push-ups in some of the routines with these movements until you build up or your shoulders have a little more mobility or feel stronger. And that's fine. Like if you know your shoulders are weak, especially in certain ranges, then take the time to fix them. And we don't always have another 20 minutes to give later. So just replace some of those movements that you cannot do full range, like push-ups, some of the plank up, down, downs, replace them with these moves and you'll see a huge improvement within your shoulders within a week or two. It really does help when we really just stop and work on these, the mobility and the stabilizers through the rotator cuff. So thanks for joining me tonight.